of such a historical event here in Key West. My name is Nancy Boylan. I will be the moderator for tonight's event. I am a member of the Key West Poetry Guild. For those of you who don't know, the Key West Poetry Guild has been meeting for many, many years, dating back to the time when Robert Frost used to winter here on the island. The Guild has been meeting the first Sunday night every month for many years. It became a little bit more organized in the late 70s, became the Key West Poetry Guild. We have some of the founding members in the audience tonight, and we will all be introduced in a little bit. Ernest Hemingway's poetry is not widely known. He did not want to be known as a poet, which is common to many authors. However, his poetry deserves some close attention. It's very revealing, it's very personal, it's very emotional. He writes of war, he writes of the sea, his beloved sea. He writes of love, he writes of loss. Some of the poems are very quirky, they're very short. Some of them are prose and really, really reveal his passion for everything I just mentioned. We're going to get started with a little bit of history with the Conque's sister poet, J.M. Varela, who's going to tell you a little bit about her experience, her family's experience with the great Ernest Hemingway. Jean Varela.
Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. In the 1930s, I had a number of, I wasn't here, but my uncles, I had 4 uncles who hung out with Hemingway. Hemingway, from what I was told, was a very personable man. He also liked to gather groups of people around him. He liked the group dynamic. And with my 4 uncles, Philip, Manuel, Peter, and Joseph. They were all Joseph Manuels in the family. They had some unique experiences, and when I came along, by this time Hemingway was gone to Cuba, they would tell me their stories. So one of the stories that a lot of local people know about is the Lighthouse, which is now called Hemingway Stilts. It was known as the Northwest Passage Light. There is an artist rendering of the way it looked in 1855 when it was built. And someone said, how did they get this slate that I put some decoupage, some poets on? This was the roof material. And through the years, through hurricanes and fires, it fell to the ocean floor, and I started snorkeling there probably in 1990 and started bringing up the pieces and would just give them away to my artist friends, thinking they could do something with them. And then one day it dawned on me, hey, you need to put his poetry on these slates. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the Northwest Passage Light, or as the locals call it, Hemingway Stilts. The Northwest Passage Light was a lighthouse located 8 miles from Key West, Florida, at the entrance to the Northwest Channel to the Key West Harbor. The first light was a lightship on station in 1838, with the new lighthouse completed in 1855. The light was deactivated sometime between 1911 and 1971. Fires, hurricanes, and time have taken their toll. Only the iron pilings remain, and these few pieces of slate from the lighthouse roof that lie on the ocean floor at a depth of about 10 feet. It is known locally as the Hemingway Stilts, based on native stories that Ernest Hemingway used to own it, or at least fish there from the structure, coming to this secluded spot for solitude and to write. It is rumored that he wrote the Old Fisherman, the Old Man in the Sea, there, or started it at the very least. I'm going to read one of my favorites of Ernest Hemingway's poems, very short, had really good rhythm, and I like his style. to Crazy Christian. There was a cat named Crazy